Hey guys, Call here, and kind of a quick video today. I just wanted to give somewhat of a update on what I've been working on because I know a few of you have been following my progress, and I've been making live streams as well about this. So I just wanted to give kind of an update on what's going on, as well as show some kind of neat stuff, kind of summarized. So every time I go into the live stream, maybe a few less of you ask a ton of questions, but I don't mind questions. Just sometimes I think this is a project that I haven't really talked about a lot, so we're not all on the same page of what I'm doing. So maybe I can get you guys on the same page. So this build is not by me. Otherwise, you would not see a video from me for a couple of years, and it would not look this good anyways. This is a really, really old build. Now, what you might be able to guess this is for, it is a zombie theme server. So my project for Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies, which I had previous videos on, which I actually am including in this series because it is a part of the process for me. That project's kind of dead. And the reason for that is it's Call of Duty Zombies. I know a lot of people like it, and I kind of like Call of Duty Zombies, but personally, it isn't my style of game. I more always worked on it because it was other people's style of game, but it can be hard for me to be motivated to work on something that really isn't my style in terms of games that I like to play. This one is more my style, but it is a little bit more complicated to get working and requires a lot more creativity, which is a good and a bad thing. So what this is a MMO, semi-open world MMORPG featuring your favorite type of enemy, as well as a bunch of others. And the point of it is, again, just to try and create a MMORPG that is weapon-based, like loot-based, as well as these guys over here, these weapons that shoot projectiles. When is that ever going to be an end? When is that going to be ended on YouTube? Anyways, so I created a bunch of things for this that I really haven't been showing off much. So I'm going to hop into adventure mode and show you how these work. So here is it's an Eye of Ender using the new system, and I'll show you what some of those other items are. But I'm just going to try and run through everything really quickly. So in this, there's going to be guns. Oh my goodness. There's going to be guns. There's going to be probably stats. There's going to be other players. You're going to be able to interact with each other. It's going to be really cool. We have a lot of things worked out on paper, but not a lot of things implemented in game yet. But one thing that is implemented is the guns themselves. So here it is. You can see my ammo is right above my food bar. I made a video just previously about how to do something like that. So check that out. I think it's called custom UI bars or something. Anyways, so when I right click, for now there's crit particles. There won't be crit particles eventually, but you can see the bullet count going down. It's relative. It's not actually 10 bullets. It's just 100%. And now I'm at 80% capacity. If I just tap fire, it shoots a burst. It can be non-burst if you want. I just want to, in this version, I want to illustrate all of its capabilities. So it's burst. It also has bloom. So if the more you fire, the wider it spreads. You can see my ammo is not completely depleted, but I cannot shoot anymore. And that's actually because a part on my gun has broken, and it is a random part based on weights. So a lot of really detailed and complicated stuff here. Let me go into creative and get rid of this thing and show you some of the stats, because this is no commands here. Every item, every gun that you get will just have these stats that'll be different and have different numbers based on what type of gun it is. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I might add an extra stat that will be hard-coded information, which is what sound effect it uses. But that's just going to be more of a number, and it'll pick a sound effect from a library, but they aren't specific sound effects necessarily. Yeah, so there's information on crits. So when you hit a zombie, there is a chance to get a crit, as well as how much extra damage it does on top of the crit, including you can headshot, which would be extra damage, because here is the stats for how much damage you do on a hit based on the head, body, and legs. So if you hit a head, that's 200% base damage 10, that does 20 damage. If you hit a crit on the head, that's 20 times 33%, which gets you 27, because the amount is 2. So no, it would be 40. It'd be 40 damage then, because it stacks. All right, so we also have stuff involving breaking. So there is an actual stat that has to do with internal durability. Sadly, I can't display durability on an Ender Eye. It has all these other stats, including weights of what has a likelihood to break. Burst kind of self-explanatory how the burst works. If your burst amount is 0, it's not a burst fire gun. Reload, stats about reloading, how much time it takes to reload, how much you reload per reload. Then there's all the stats relating to bloom. So there is your horizontal and vertical offset for the bloom. So you can do something that has more bloom vertically or more bloom horizontally, as well as the rate. So that's how long it takes to reach the maximum, and the cooldown, which is how long you have to wait before it starts to reduce your bloom stat. Also cooldown, so that's time between each shot. You got range, that's a block, how many blocks you travel. Then you have shots per shot, so this allows you to shoot like 4 times per click. This is for shotguns. You have clip max, which is how much is in a clip. I know it's technically mag, but I just love the word clip. It's a habit. And then you also have clip, which is how much you have in your mag, which is, again, obviously it's wrong, but I just have a habit. All right, clip is so much funner, clip is so much more fun to say, honestly. Anyway, so then we also have ammo boxes. So if I go fire a couple and then I drop it, then it'll try to reload, and it'll reload, and the ammo box has 34. So if I shoot a couple more, the ammo box has 30. And I can put the ammo box anywhere in my inventory. I can have 2 ammo boxes. It'll pick the one that is lowest in slot number. So if I put it here, it'll pick this one over one that's over here. If I put it here, it'll pick this one over one that's down here, just because of slot number. If you put it in your offhand, it will pick that one indefinitely. Yeah, lots of really complicated math and commands going on there. I guess I don't need those. And they actually stack because they have the same stats. I will fix that eventually. When you get these as a drop, you can't stack them. So then that's pretty much all I have in that front in terms of weapons. I also have loot. So I'll show you that right now. So let's do game rule, do mob spawning, true. I think it already is true. I think I'm not on a different difficulty. So let's do time set 1400. And you'll see some zombies spawning in. It uses the default mob spawning system, and I might go over that in a video on using the default mob spawning system the best. Right now it's not doing it the best it can, but that's besides the point. So then let's do difficulty peaceful, TP at P to at ETI equals crate, limit equals 1. Okay, so these are suitcases. I will have different varieties, different types. This one is a briefcase. It's the first one. And briefcases, you go up to them. All of the UI information is tentative. Like, I'm not going to have probably this title in the end, but it's just here, for debugging. There's a lot of stuff that does not have cool effects because I'm just doing all of the mechanics right now. Anyway, so you go up and you sneak to open, and it's opening. If you let go, you stop opening it. So if I hold sneak for long enough, then it does open, and I get all these items. So there's a loot table that gives you different items. There is a loot crate as well as a map. So this is actually a system. I made it drop 100% of the time, but it's actually going to be really, really rare. But essentially what happens is it gives you a map, which right now doesn't work because I transferred worlds so that my ender eye would not go to, because this was in a different world, but then I used a mod to transfer it to a super flat so that the ender eye would not actually shoot when you right click it. But yeah, anyways, I have to remake some of these, but essentially what they do is there's an X on the map. You have to find where the map is because it's a very zoomed in map. And then you go up to the X and there is a chest. And then when you right click on the chest with the tripwire hook, it actually opens the chest and drops out some more items for you. All the items that you actually obtain in this game, I made sure are owned by the person who initiated them. So people can't steal them. But yeah, so it opens the loot crates, you get the loot crate, fun stuff. And it has a different pool of loot. So some of the other stuff I got a credit card and I got a dollar bill, and it says miscellaneous and it says money from the old world. So if I go into adventure mode, I can turn these in my inventory up here into, well, I guess I'm spoiling it with F3H on, but I can turn them into base materials. So I can turn the credit card that is pretty much useless in a post-apocalypse into a base material of plastic, which textures are still tentative. I like the scrap metal texture. That probably won't change. Scrap cloth scraps probably won't change. Paper probably won't change. Plastic I need to change. If you don't get the reference, this is the red Lego brick from, yeah, exactly. So then dollar bills, miscellaneous. These actually might have a use for certain things in the future, but you can turn them into scrap if you don't have a use for them. But if you do have a use for them, you can go out and find them again and then use them for whatever that use may be. For example, I was thinking of having some Easter eggs where there's a vending machine and you can use old dollar bills on the vending machine. And then the vending machine might be a part of a quest line. So then basically what you have to do is find these old dollar bills that you didn't scrap and use them. But if you don't have a use for them, you can just turn them into scrap paper, which is used to craft. There's also scrap metal, but there's no more crates. They do despawn after a couple minutes. So yeah, that's all that. That's how that works. The raw materials aren't used for anything right now. I will make them used for things eventually. It's a pretty big project in terms of how many items we have to make. Yeah, so this is the town hall. I basically converted a town hall into like a survivor base that's not finished yet. So I moved like the desks up against the wall and I boarded up some of the walls with those, and I made like a little sleeping spot in the library. And then also if you go upstairs, this is a bazaar. It was a soapbox, but now it is a bazaar. Very cool. So there will be a trading system involved between players and between NPCs, but players will be way later. And then nothing on that floor. And then on the top floor, there is the mayor's office. So this will be the metaphorical mayor of this sort of settlement. There's a lot more dynamics that are involved with settlements and so forth, because there will be more than one, hopefully, if I can get there, which I'll go over in a later video once I actually implement those features. So I mainly just want to talk about the features that I've implemented. So we have the gun system with any gun as long as you just change the stats around. We have the ammo box, which we will have to change that a lot to incorporate different types of ammo. And then we also have the crates, the chests, which drop, and they give you keys to, the suitcases and briefcases, which spawn, that give keys and maps to better loot that you have to go find that's harder to find. So it's kind of a default RNG loot system. What I plan to work on next is the first level. And we have a really interesting idea for that, and hopefully the next video on this, I will have kind of a run through of the first level or first quest that you play when you get on the server. Won't have an alpha version until at least most of the main quest line is complete. So we're a bit off from an alpha version. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. If you want to see specific content, leave a comment asking questions or asking for specific things. And if you want to see more on this, just let me know by liking it. And if you're interested in helping out, you can just hang out on the Discord, and I'll be pinging people when I need help. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.